Hello, welcome back to the Geek Day podcast. We turned your weekday into a geek day. I am one of your hosts, Rob, and with me today I have my co-host, Mr. Alex Moon.
Hi, I'm Alex Moon. I'm the other co-host.
Hello, Alex Moon, the other co-host. How art thou?
Art thou is doing very well, Robert. I'm just gonna say it off the top. I am trying to find a way to carry my Captain America 117. Like, you know how some people carry around Pokemon cards, like they turn them into bling around their neck. I'm
Mhm.
trying to figure out how to do this. So I'm gonna just be flexing this for the rest of my life. So I'm just gonna do the whole podcast like this.
So there is a K-pop star. She purchased a Vaporeon for like a lot. I think it was like $3,000 or something like that, and it was in like the PSA little guard or whatever. It was like a
Yeah, yeah.
9.8, so it was worth a lot of money. She bought it. She broke it out of the case and then put it into her phone case. And so now everywhere she goes, she just has this little Vaporeon card, and everyone's like, "Oh my god, you're diminishing the money," but like the price of it. I'm like, it's to me, it's like kind of the same thing as a comic book, where it's like, yeah, she's
I
not
mean,
gonna
that's just
play it.
fiscally irresponsible, Robert.
Oh,
Actually.
absolutely.
Yeah. No, someone in the TikTok chat said, Bullseye said, "Yo, get a purse with a clear pouch and PSA that
Yeah.
shit." Yeah,
Would
I'm
you?
just gonna
I know we talk about it a lot. How we're both kind of like anti, like not anti, but like we're like okay with not grading stuff. Is that
yeah,
something like you would grade? That this
no,
one specifically? No, this is for
no.
like
I
your
want to be
touch.
able to, and there are two reasons. One, um, one day I would like to like I'm down with purchasing graded stuff. I don't like because that's already like aftermarket. It's been done. I don't want to feed into the machine that is dictating the value and the economy of comic books by grading it at PSA and potentially feeling ripped off. Um, but with that being said, the other reason that I don't want to grade this one is because it's a beautiful copy of this book, but there is and I knew this going into it is I don't know if you can see it like this the staple I can't I don't know
Hmm.
if you can tell. Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
The staple right there is perfect. It's great. The staple right here, it's not fully attached to the rest of the book. So,
Oh,
like, it's
okay.
not demolished or anything, it's just not fully attached, and I knew going into it that this book, depending on it's great, it looks really good. That's one of those things where as a collector, as a fan, I'm not too worried about that. I opened it, I read it, it's safe to read, it's just one of those things where I'm like, "I'm not gonna go through the trouble of grading it," knowing that. If anything, I would rather put that money towards paying someone to repair that because 'cause I'm down
Mhm.
with repairing books than anything else, you know what I mean? But again, the cover, how it looks so white is the big selling point for me, as opposed to getting one that maybe had better staples, but that cover was yellow as shit because there's a lot of
Yeah.
white going on in this cover, for that book.
I'm in the middle of a bid war for a comic right now, and this will be my first ever comic that I purchased that is unfortunately graded. But I have been trying to collect the singles for Radiant Black, and I cannot find ungraded Radiant Black #1 anywhere. So I am currently bidding for a 9.8 Radiant Black A cover one, issue one
But
on.
you don't care if it's graded, right?
I don't care if it's graded.
Why don't you
Yeah,
just
so
buy a lower graded one and then crack it?
they're all like 9.8. It's
Oh,
modern, so like they're all like
yeah,
beautiful, like beautifully printed and
because
stuff like
everyone
that.
bought it and immediately graded it. Yeah.
Exactly. So it's either like they have them available for like $900, and I'm like, I'm not gonna do that. I'd rather just like start in the bidding war or whatever. And I'm winning so far. But I have a certain number that I'm like, I'm not going
How
past
much you
this.
at for that one right now?
I'm only at $16. But I have like you can do like a secret bid on this website. It's not eBay; it's a different site.
Okay.
And I don't want to say it before any of these whippersnappers trying
I was gonna say, I'm
to
gonna do it
buy
just to
me.
piss you off.
Yeah, but you can put a secret bid on there, and then if someone bids underneath it, it automatically adds your bid to it. So I have a number there that I'm not willing to spend more than this number, and then it'll eventually go up. But I'm excited. Super Sanctum Podcasting, is that the famous Grail? It is. DC Black Spider versus Marvel Spider-Man. Who is winning? Marvel Spider-Man.
I don't even know who
Uh,
DC Black No, Black
neither do.
Spider is from, that
Oh,
was
it's
Arkham. He was in the
animated.
Arkham series, right?
I
Or
believe
he no,
so.
no, he was in the Arkham movie, like Escape Arkham or something like that, or Arkham Breakout, some bullshit. I don't know. I haven't read any of his comics. I think that's who that is from the film.
Uh-huh.
I think so, and I don't even think it was actually him. Wasn't somebody like pretend? I don't remember. It's been forever since I've seen that film. Robert, how much do you think I spent on this comic book?
Um, how much I think you spent? $65.
You're crazy.
How much you spend?
This is a $250 comic book.
Oh, Zooey mama. You know what? And I'm happy for you. Like that
Thank
is
you.
like
I
your
appreciate it.
grail.
Now it is, but also that was like I put $100 down a month ago and then finished it off the
Mhm.
other day. Like it was not something where I was just like, let me just randomly drop $250, which I guess altogether I did, but like
Yeah.
I didn't have the funds to just drop it all at once.
I
Um,
also have one of my grails, and I'm happy to say that it's something that is like wanted by a lot of people, but definitely not like as crazy as probably as that
Ellie,
first
yes, with Batman.
appearance.
Thank you, thank you.
But it is X-Men 200, The Trial of Magneto. I own that one, and it is on my
Mhm.
wall over here off the side. You probably can't see it.
Yeah.
But
It's
Alex,
almost like it would be beneficial for you to have it on the other wall where your podcast camera hits.
it would be, but then it would interfere with this storm right here, and then I'd have to put it behind there. So
If
we'll
anything, it would
figure it
highlight the storm. Just put them in an L shape around the storm.
You
And it
know what?
like the background is very important to me. Like right now, and I'm going to tell everybody this and it's going to bother them too. Right now, it kills me to no end that there are two spaces right here where I need to complete this comic wall. And I can't go too much the other way because then I see the door to the other room. And then yeah, you've
It's okay.
ruined my
We're
night.
fixing this next week. We're fixing this next week.
Good, good.
Yeah. But Alex, we can now jump into kind of talking about what the nerdy things you've been doing this week. Besides, buying your Grail, what
Yes.
have you been doing?
Oh, dude, I've been well one, I've finally decided. Everyone's been telling me I'm behind on Absolute Batman. I remember I didn't read Absolute Batman for a long time, and you're the one that lent me a bunch of the singles so I could catch up. So good, so amazing. I'm so behind on Absolute Batman. Everyone's saying it only gets better and better. So I finally sat down, locked in, wanted to show the Absolute Universe some love again, and I started reading Absolute Superman from the beginning. So, so Absolute, I started Absolute Superman instead, and it's been great. So good.
Really?
It's
So I've
so
read
good.
a bit of Absolute Superman, and I haven't been impressed by it. But I think it's just because of how great Absolute Wonder Woman and Absolute Batman are that I'm just like, it's good. It is a serviceable comic.
Yeah, I think I'm a sucker for any because like one of my favorite Superman story arcs was the retelling of his origin that they did with Action Comics during the New 52 run.
Mhm.
So I love like reinterpretations of Superman's origin, and this one's just been great. I've just bought the second trade. I'm in the middle of that one right now. But other than that, just been buying comics every week, collecting everything. My to be read pile is monstrous and quite honestly, embarrassing. Very what's the word? Um, fiscally irresponsible is the word I'll use. But yeah, but what about you, Robert? What about you?
Alex, I'm happy to say that I have found another new love of comics, another new love and like a series and stuff. It's not going to be so far off from the X-Men because it is in fact X Factor. I have been working through. I've been telling you, I've been going slowly but surely. I started on Giant Size X-Men, and then issue number 94, which is when that new team starts. I am now into the 200 and almost 220, so I'm about to start the Inferno arc. But then I'm also reading kind of everything in between as well. So I'm also like 50 something issues, almost 60 issues into New Mutants. And then finally jumping into X Factor. And I cannot tell you how much I love X Factor because I feel like people either really love or hate this comic. What were you going to say?
Well, no, I was going to say I'm very happy for you and I with the characters and the comic books that we really like. Because for me, I love Captain America. And I know everybody looks at like these older Captain America books. And there are a few that can be pricey, right? But for the most part, by and large, Captain America books are not expensive, especially
Mhm.
when you're collecting them. X Factor is another series that is not crazy to track down. And
Oh, no.
not that some of the keys aren't crazy, but I love that we both love comic books that don't break the bank. And
Yes.
because there are other people like our buddy Solarpunk who is a real big Batman guy, and that guy's just gonna get demolished for the rest
Yes.
of his collecting journey. That's just how it is with Batman. But sorry, so that's what I wanted to say. But go ahead.
No, you're good. Yeah, like to speak, like I also picked up. I found X Factor #1, or my wife found X Factor #1 for me. I picked that one up as well. But also another thing, I have been so far behind in my modern comics. I have not picked up really much of anything in the past few months. But I did go out and pick out one comic, and I'm not sure if you know what it is, but it is going to be issue 1 of Chachu. This is the
That's the one
Iman
for Iman
Vellani.
Vellani, right? Yes.
Yes. I've been seeing a lot of her interviews and stuff, and I was really interested in wanting to jump into that. So I was like, you know what, screw it. I took my wife. I forced my wife to come with me to a comic book shop, and I picked it up. And man, can I tell you that this is fantastic.
Really.
This is awesome.
And who? It's Image, right?
It is Image. It is an Image
Okay.
comic. So it
I need
basically
to pick it up.
follows a young, like a 19-year-old girl in the 1970s that is looking for her Chachu, her uncle, that basically left when she was before she was even born. And so she is moving to LA and she's going to go to school. So she's like, I'm moving there. Let me go try and find him. Issue 1, she finds him. Like it is like, hey, it's all good. There he is. And then she immediately gets pulled into a completely different kind of investigative detective
Oh,
story.
I love that shit.
Yes,
I love that shit.
it is fantastic. It's funny. The art is fantastic. And I was watching a couple of her interviews that she's done. I really love the off panel sketched podcast. I don't know if you ever listened to them or not, but
No.
she's talking about like her inspirations for this and that like she's very grateful for the time that she did her little offshoots with Miss Marvel for Marvel, because she goes back and like it cringes at the old writing, and then like I feel like she's so solidified in this issue 1. So I'm very excited for the rest of this, and this will be having me going back to that comic shop that I haven't been to in like a month.
What comic shop was it?
It was Alien Worlds.
Which
Yeah,
one?
the Alien Worlds of San Pedro,
The bad one.
the good one. I love that one.
No, I'm kidding.
We
There's
actually have
a.
a listener there that that works there.
Oh, I love it. I
Yeah,
love it. Who's the listener?
Marco.
Marco. Oh, okay. There's a nice young lady that always used to help Baby Moon pick out action figures there, and I forgot her name. But that was the only reason I used to like going there. She was always really nice because they have all those bins of like loose toys,
Hmm.
like of the loose figures.
Yeah,
But yeah.
I love that one. But Alex, we've talked about our stuff. Did you have anything else before we jump into our first kind of topic of the day?
Well, I figure since we're talking about X-Men casting or X-Men, we should start with that.
Yeah, definitely.
X-Men adjacent stuff. We can talk about the X-Men casting that was going on while I fix my background. You introduce this, Robert.
Absolutely. So, as we all know, D23 has happened. It has gone, it has passed, and we all knew that information was going to be coming out about the rest of the X-Men, or at least it was kind of like highly discussed, highly rumored. And you know what? We got it. And so I'm excited to say that I am very interested in this cast. I feel like it's one of those sort of things where I know quite a few of these people, but also obviously a lot of us don't know a lot of the other ones. So like for sure we have Maya Boyd as Storm. She is a Broadway actress and I've heard of the shows that she's been in and stuff. I'm really excited. Alex, did you want to go down the cast list and then talk about
Yeah,
that, or
well,
did you want to pick out
really
like one by
quick,
one?
before we go down the cast list, I did want to mention just because it's been all the buzz on social media lately, about me specifically regarding the X-Men cast. I cannot confirm or deny that Marvel has reached out to me to play Wolverine, so I'm not even going to say anything about that at all. So it's not really something that I would even be interested in potentially. You know what I mean? So I'm here to expel the rumors and such about that. Sorry, it was getting a little hot in here. I'm trying to put away my overshirt that I was wearing. One
Yeah,
second.
definitely, definitely, yeah. And this wasn't planned at all,
So,
by the way. This is not a planned
just
thing.
wanted to just wanted to clear that up real quick. If you're talking, I can't hear a damn thing you're saying. Okay, go
Oh,
ahead.
I said this wasn't planned at all. So this is just a
No, not at
happenstance.
all. Anyway,
Yeah, so we can go down the cast list. I mean, for sure we know number one, Sadie Sink will be playing Jean Grey. I feel like we talked a little bit about it. I really liked her in Spider-Man. I feel like you liked her as well, right?
oh yeah, I mean, and if anything, that was the most surprising one because to bring her back a second time, crazy. You know, but yeah, no, I liked her. I'm interested. The big thing with anything Sadie Sink related going forward in an X-Men context is I'm very interested to see if they're going to even mention that she was a villain or mention that she fucking killed a guy. Um, so that's my
I
biggest thing.
I think it is the more I've thought about it and the more I've heard like other people kind of talk about it as well, right? I am Can you hear my dog barking by the way?
Uh, no, I don't know if you have shoes on or not.
Oh, heard. Cool. But no, the more I think about it, the more I really kind of enjoy that where it is the director or the writer, I don't remember who, but someone involved with Spider-Man Brand New Day was like, "Hey, she didn't kill anyone," and I'm like, "Dog." Uh, but
I saw that clip where they were like, "Well, if we would have seen the whole scene, we would have saw that he gets back up."
yeah.
But that man's dead. Nobody gets hit by a car like that and survives.
So there's that. I think it's a really good way of building the mutants as some sort of menace within the MCU. I'm sure there's going to be some like, oh, like, hey, that's the girl from New York that did X, Y, Z or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Or, I mean, like, no one really saw her except like damage control. So I don't know. I'm interested to see kind of where they go with that overall. Next up,
Someone said I would survive.
you just built different. Next up, Kit Connor as Scott Summers, aka Cyclops. Uh, Interesting casting. I only know him from Romeo and Juliet with Rachel Zegler. So I knew him. I know him as a stage actor, but I know he's in Heartstopper, right? Yeah,
I I don't know.
and he is the little boy from that plays young Elton John in the Rocket Man movie.
Oh
And you know,
shit.
you didn't see that one?
Man, no, I did. So give him the Oscar.
No, I'm excited about this. I know a lot of people, so many dumb people are really shitting on him because he's a bisexual man, and they're like, a bisexual man can't play Scott Summers. I'm like, shut up. Like,
That's wild. That's a
it-
wild take. Because if anything, um, that seems right up Scott Summers' alley. Because have you seen some of the stare offs he has with Wolverine?
mhm.
There's a lot of tension going on. I'll be honest. My biggest thing with Kit Connor as Scott Summers, because when I saw it, because like you said, I haven't really seen a lot with him. And all I did is I essentially I did the Batman test because I'm looking at it too. I'm not sure if you're looking at the Deadline one as well, but
Yes.
I like saw the photo of him, and I was just like, oh, perfect. Yeah,
Yeah.
that looks like a Cyclops jawline to me, and I'm down. I'm down.
I'm so excited to see. The more I think about the casting, the more I kind of read X Factor, the more I'm like, Cyclops is a sassy man. He is a sassy,
Mhm.
sassy man. He's a very angry man. And you know what? I'd be excited just to see how Kit Connor does this because the clips I saw of him, which I should not have seen, from Romeo and Juliet, because you should not be recording in a theater, he's very good. So I'm excited to see someone maybe bring a more, that has more emotion than past Cyclops actors into this situation. Um, Next up, guy I've never heard of, Christopher Abbott as Charles Xavier, aka Professor X.
You've never heard of Christopher Abbott?
I have not, but I see he was on Girls, and then let's see, he was in the Catch 22 Hulu film of the book, and then he's gonna be in the East of Eden adaptation. Oh yeah, that's dope.
And honestly, now that like you're saying what he's in, I recognize this man. I don't know where I recognize him from. Like
He has like such a familiar face, but I feel like I've never actually seen him do anything.
we're gonna find out that he was actually like there's another actor that adjacently looks like him, and we've just been thinking about that guy the whole time. Um,
Apparently, he's a Tony Award nominee for Death of a Salesman, so that's pretty dope.
he was in Wolfman, Sanctuary Girls. He was in Craven the Hunter.
He was in Poor Things. I never saw that, but I heard it was a really good movie.
Who was he in
Uh,
Craven the Hunter?
he was Craven the Hunter. No, imagine.
Hold up, I'm looking right now.
You're good.
He was. Oh, he was the foreigner. That's where I remember him. That's exactly where I remember his ass from.
The Foreigner and Poor Things.
No, Craven the Hunter.
Oh, okay, okay. I never saw
No, no,
Craven,
no.
so
He plays like one of the villain dudes in Craven the Hunter. That's so funny. Out of all the things to recognize that man from, and for all the things for me to go, he looks like a good Professor X.
yeah.
From
Uh,
Craven the Hunter. But
we have Maya Boyd, who I think is probably the least known person on this cast, playing Aurora Monroe, aka Storm. I know for a long time people had Jamie Lawson as
did
like
we skip Samara Weaving?
on my one. I'm looking at the Cosmopolitan one.
Oh, okay. Sorry, sorry,
Yeah,
sorry,
so a
sorry.
different one. Yeah.
Also,
Uh,
excuse me, bringing up a white woman while we're talking about Storm. My bad.
yeah,
Um,
exactly.
my
Silence.
bad. Cancel me. Um,
Let's see. Oh, she was in the cast of Merrily We Roll Along. Hell yeah, I love that musical. That's the one that Daniel Radcliffe and Jonathan Groff were in.
oh,
Yeah, yeah. So good for her. I need to go back and watch it because it's available to stream. If you're not a musical person, actually don't watch Merrily Roll Along. You probably won't like it. It is. It's not a commercially successful musical. I'll say that much. There's a reason why it closed on Broadway in the first place.
rude.
But I'm excited to see her. I really like this idea, of course, of bringing unknown actors into these very large roles, um,
Yeah,
and especially like a stage actor. Then when
yeah.
like reading Storm on the page is like she is ethereal.
Oh yeah, Storm's a very regal, a very like, look at me, I have filled the page type of character. And not in like a obnoxious way or an over the top way, but just in a powerful presence kind of way. And coming from, like you said, a stage actor background, that is all stage acting is. So,
Hmm.
it's making sure you're as big as possible. That and like Storm, the calling out to Mother Nature and the all that's very big theatrical. There's a reason that she is like the goddess of weather, not like,
Yeah,
she's very much on that upper echelon of mutant because she's an omega level mutant, right?
she's an Omega level
Um
mutant. Yeah,
yeah, so and I think besides Jean Grey, she's the only one here, right? Because Emma isn't, is she?
Emma's not. No, and
Yeah.
Professor X is not also.
Mm-mm.
So yeah, he is the. She is. Well, her and yeah, Jean Grey are the only two Omega level, which I'm going to be very interested to see how they bring that in eventually.
Yeah.
Next up, I got Samara Weaving as Emma Frost. I think this is the best casting. I think like just like one for one, like just even looking at the photo of Samara Weaving, she is fantastic. I've seen her in a couple of other things. She's in the Ready or Not, right? Yeah, Ready or Not,
Yeah.
Babysitter franchise. I'm so excited to see her play Emma Frost and also to see kind of where we're going with this because there's some rumors that there might be the Hellfire Club bringing out almost immediately, which is going to be very interesting to see that dynamic starting off with the very beginning. Are you aware of the Hellfire Club?
Yeah, again, vicariously through some of the stuff I read, and then obviously we had an interpretation of the Hellfire Club in First Class.
Yes.
So that's kind of more where I started looking into the Hellfire Club. But I did hear about that as well, and I was also kind of like, I don't know, coming out of the gate and potentially doing something that I feel like we've already seen before. I'm kind
Hmm.
of like, I don't know how I feel about that. And also, Samara Weaving as Emma Frost. I'm gonna be totally honest with you. This is one that I'm so indifferent about. Like I'm just
Really?
so like she looks good for it, but I will tell you my biases when they're real. Um, I think I still have a bad taste in my mouth that this was the sacrificial lamb uh that she was Emma Frost when they were canceling Wonder Man. Like all of a sudden that started getting circulated. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I was kind of like, I don't like that. But that I think that's just me being a fucking hater. But this is one of the ones that now I'm looking at and I'm like, yeah, you're right. She looks the part, but I don't feel particularly like yes or particularly like, nah, just kind
Yeah,
of
I
there.
know. I got you. I think. it's one of the things that for all of them, obviously, except Sadie Sink, and even then, I think still we should be able to give her a little bit more of a leeway. But we don't know how they're going to be in these characters. We haven't seen audition tapes or anything like that. But the next one I have up here is one that's causing a lot of controversy right now, and I think it's very dumb. But
Adam Driver.
is Adam Driver? It is Indy Navarrete as Rogue. Um,
Yes.
how do you feel? I know I've seen some of your videos and stuff. But
Yeah.
how do you feel about this?
I am down with it. I think, we've seen her in a big film this year, that everyone's been hyped about. Uh, I think now I'll tell you, when I look at her, I see the potential, but it's not like some of the other ones, where I look at it and I'm like, yeah, that's you. That's you. I can see the potential here, but just off of the look, it's one of the ones where I'm like, just off this one and Christopher Abbott. I'm like, I don't see it look wise, but people also had to audition for these things. This wasn't like, this isn't like how it was back in the day where they're like, Leo, we want you in the movie. Don't worry about it. Just sign on. This isn't a Christopher Nolan production where he just calls people and they say yes. They auditioned, and obviously she had to have an amazing audition for it. Um, but also, and I've said this a lot, a lot of the issues that are getting brought up. One is like, oh, she can't do a southern accent, which is such a dumb thing because we don't know if she can do a southern accent. It's so ridiculous. I've also heard again the race swapping argument getting thrown around, which is dumb. Rogue's not a character where I think that's particularly important, especially because Rogue's initial and I'm so sorry, I'm forgetting the name, but Rogue's initial kind of inspiration was reportedly a black woman,
Yes.
and so that's not a big thing. I think, and I've said this before, if she's a Southern belle and she's caked up, that's fine. It's all that matters. So I'm excited about this one. This one I think has me the most excited, not because of the controversy, but because this one and again Christopher Abbott are the two where I'm like, I don't see it. But again, we're hearing that they had to audition. So these auditions had to be great
Mhm.
if they don't conventionally look the role, but they're putting them in the role. But Robert, what were your thoughts?
No, I think it's a really I think for me, the thing that's kind of like probably coloring this a little bit better for me, it is the Hispanic sort of representation that we're gonna have in the MCU. I mean,
Hmm.
we've been slowly but surely getting more. We have like Namor now that we have
Hmm.
our brand new Falcon is Hispanic, and now we're gonna be having a Hispanic Rogue. Uh,
Hmm.
I'm excited.
And we're getting Solo back in DC.
And we're getting Sholo back in DC. But like, I don't know, I'm excited to see this kind of renaissance of Hispanic characters within
Hmm.
the within superheroes because I feel like the only other one that I was like super hyped about was White Tiger in in Daredevil Born Again just to get
Yeah,
his brains blown out the same episode,
yeah.
and I was like. That sucks. But no, I'm super excited for this. I really loved her in Obsession. I saw a TikTok someone say today, it's like people are getting mad that she probably couldn't do a southern accent. Who can't do a southern accent? I'm sorry.
It's very, yeah. No, it's very easy. You
Yeah.
just got to sound stupid. No,
We're
no.
southern. We're southern.
But yeah, no, I agree with that. And also the one, like you said, I think it's great for representation. I think the character of Rogue isn't one where she needs to be white like she is in the comics. Because like you said, we're Southern boys. We're from Texas, and I've seen Hispanic people, I've seen black people, I've seen people that are any shade walk up and they're like, "How you doing? The weather today, huh?" And you're like, "Yeah, yeah." If she can do that, it doesn't matter where she comes from, and if anything, it only adds to the character. It doesn't take anything away from the character. Um, but I'm really hyped about it, honestly.
Mhm.
And then here I see in the TikTok chat, I wonder if she's gonna be a villain or a hero, and
I
that's
think she'll be a
actually
hero.
really.
I think so.
You don't think she's gonna be working alongside Mr. Sinister?
For what I've seen well, what I've like heard so far is that apparently there is a Captain Marvel 3 in the works. I think that we'll probably. I don't think we're gonna get all the introductions in this one movie. I think we're gonna have them kind of splattered around. I think we're probably gonna get Storm. Well, they've kind of said no that Storm is gonna be in Black Panther 3 or like.
There is reports on it. Obviously, nothing's confirmed, but those are the reports that we're seeing right now. And
Mhm,
I personally love that.
me too.
I don't think that these characters have to have their they don't have to just appear in their first film. And technically, it's not even. I mean, it's an X Men film, right? So no one's getting their own film, so it makes
Hmm.
sense for them to kind of be in other stuff because people forget what's the biggest franchise right now that just made $1 billion at the box office this last couple weeks, and he was introduced in a Captain America movie.
Yeah.
And then same thing with Black Panther, introduced in the same Captain America movie. In the comics, that's just how it was. Like
Hmm.
Punisher gets introduced in a Spider-Man comic book. Like that just that's just how it works. Those are the things that go on. And so if they keep doing it in the movies, I'm fine with it. I think that's really cool. And it gives the audience an opportunity to get to know the character because when you introduce an audience to a character, there's always like, okay, this is the character. What's their deal? What are the powers? And then it becomes, what's their deal? What are their character motivations? And then it's like, what's their deal? How are they going to fit into the story with those motivations? And when you do something like kind of introduce them in an earlier film, we do a little bit of that groundwork ahead of time. Not all of it, 'cause you're always gonna have to reestablish them in the new movie for the new audience, but you're not having to start from square one. So
Hmm.
I just think that's a smart thing to do because everyone's gonna go in excited. And then I also see here, Brain on here says the voice actress for Storm in the animated series was also a stage actress. Ooh, I'm not sure
There
if
we
I missed
go.
that earlier. That's dope. That's
Yeah.
dope. And Robert, we have one more that we got
Yes,
to
we
talk
do.
about.
Hmm. We have Adam Driver as Magneto now, as Mr. Sinister. I think this is one that I said before that I thought that they were going to be going with Mr. Sinister and not Magneto.
Yeah,
Um,
we talked about. Oh, I can hear Link. I
yeah,
heard a Link.
that's actually
But no.
Percy. He's screaming right now.
Oh, that's Percy.
It's Percy.
Oh
Yeah,
God, he's loud.
yeah,
Anyway, not loud like where he's bothering. I'm just saying, like I just like damn.
yeah.
But anyway, yeah, no, I think it makes a lot of sense. You were saying it before, like you felt like the better fit was Mister Sinister than Magneto. Um, and I'm down. I mean, we've seen Adam Driver play that. I mean, I'll be honest, a lot of Adam Driver's roles are whether it's Black Klansman, whether it's Kylo Ren, whether it's Marriage Story. I think that's what that one's called, right?
Yeah.
He has a lot of like he deals with these emotions where he's in a lot of like this kind of thing, and that's Mister Sinister to a T.
Hmm.
So I'm excited. I think if he just I mean, he just has to show up and be Adam Driver, honestly, and he's
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
kill it. But what was your thoughts on that one?
No, I think it's the same thing where I'm like, I think this is kind of the safest bet, I think, of the entire casting, where it's like, okay, yeah, just get someone that can play angry. And I think Adam Driver is good. And I know Kevin Feige has been saying for a while that like they've sat down with Adam to be like, hey, want to do this? No. And they passed on. And then I'm sure probably something in the script maybe really spoke to him. And
Yeah,
from hearing about what the director has been saying, kind of what they're pulling from kind of the OG Claremont run that I'm reading right now, and then some of the Hickman run. I've not touched yet. I haven't touched any of Krakoa yet because the guy I hear that's just so much to read. But I'm excited about it overall. I think I'm kind of glad they're not starting with Magneto, because to me it is like the Wolverine of it all, where it is like, hey, we know we love him. We know we're going to get them eventually, but let's work up to that and let's have these other characters kind of breathe overall. So
but we're gonna get Magneto
yeah, we're going to get
in
Magneto.
this. It's gonna be an after credit scene. It's gonna be an allusion to him.
Yes.
Um,
I did want to ask. I know, like in the past, we kind of had a conversation about this, but is this are any of these characters like a surprise to you? Did you think there was going to be more? Did you think that maybe one was going to be here and one wasn't? That was like cast and announced.
Oh yeah, no, I think that there are other characters that we didn't get announced for sure.
Hmm.
The same way that we're hearing with Doomsday and stuff, I think that's exactly what's going on. And there was also rumors that there were actors that backed out right before D23. I don't know if you saw
Yes.
that. So,
Hmm.
there if those rumors are to be believed, and honestly, with the rumors that we got about D23 and a lot of those being true, I'm kind of also, or I'm sorry, San Diego and that being true. I'm also kind of more leaning towards believing it. So with that being said, I would think that we're definitely going to get more people. The one I am surprised with is Emma a little bit. I kind of didn't think we are going to get an Emma in there. But I guess it kind of makes sense because really I'm and again, I hate that I'm going back to because Emma traditionally is I mean, well, maybe I'm confused. Does Emma always start off as a villain or
Yes. So she
okay,
starts
so
off as the headmaster of the Grey Malkin School, which is like a
okay.
rival school to Xavier's, but like this one on top is like, hey, this is a regular rich kid private school. And
Mhm,
then below, she has her class of mutants that's similar to the New Mutants, that it's called the Hellions.
gotcha. So
So
she's
she has her
Batman.
own, and then yeah, and then she is asked to. Actually, no, she's already a part of the Hellfire Club,
Okay.
and she's the White Queen of the Hellfire Club.
Gotcha. See, so the reason I'm asking and making sure that I clarify that is because to me it just reads as Emma is going to kind of be the balance to Jean Grey or Professor X, right? Because
Hmm.
you got to have an opposing force, or else Professor X is going to be like, "Bling, fixed it," like
Yes.
And that's just one of those things where it's like I was like surprised to see Emma, but then I thought about it for 4 seconds and I was like, it makes sense because there's got to be a counterweight to the Jean Grey, to the Professor X.
Hmm.
But with that being said, that was really the only one that I was like, do we need that? But the reason I think it rubs me the wrong way is because again, we've seen that. That's what Emma Frost did in
Well,
First Class, kind of thing. She was the counterpoint to Xavier to kind of give them that level playing field
yeah.
against another telepath outside of just the helmet that whoever's wearing at the time.
I think I'm not so upset about that because we've only seen her once in live action, and it has been that X Men First Class one. Hello, Baby Moon.
You want to say hi real quick?
Hello.
Say hi. They're coming back from dinner. Say
Oh,
bye.
nice.
You're live right now.
Bye.
Do you want to say hi? Huh? Joe's not here because we're
Joe's
live.
not here now.
Okay, we'll see her later. Okay,
Joe's
love
at a
you, baby.
dinner.
Bye.
Bye, Daddy.
Bye, mamas.
Bye, bye, Robert.
Bye.
um,
Yeah,
but
so I mean,
yeah.
she's only been in live action once, and of course we got like an unfortunate, like a subpar version of her.
Mhm.
So I'm excited to see what this version of it, like if they're pulling from the Hickman run, then it's going to be much more cooperative than what I think she's going to be a perfect middle ground between like the Mr. Sinister and the Professor X, because she's
Mhm.
always a very pragmatic person. So to be someone that's
Okay.
like, I'm excited to see kind of if that's the way that they're gonna go with her.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that there isn't more quote unquote modern day X Men announced. I honestly would have thought like they would have brought like a Jubilee in. Like, hey, like let's bring in characters that like people know but not like fully know. I didn't think we were gonna get a Gambit because we had Channing Tatum.
Yeah.
I didn't think we were gonna get a Nightcrawler so soon. But I was like, I think that would be a good way to build out a newer version of X Men that people can get to know. This is like their giant size X Men number one.
Yeah, no, of course. And I hear you. I mean, I'm not I guess I'm not surprised because I personally and we've talked about it before, I wanted that. I didn't want there to be, I didn't want us to open the gate with Wolverine, with, Forge and like these other guys that like are really important to X-Men, but that come later. I did want a more traditional one. If anything, I am a little not surprised, but I am happy that we got Storm because
Hmm.
one of the detriments of going like OG X-Men is that everyone looks like Iceman, if you know what I mean. And
Yes.
I'm glad that we're at least getting Storm. I'm glad we're getting Storm. And again, that's also why I feel like going back to Indy Navretti, like you gotta do that because if not, everyone is just people are gonna start looking like they're wearing pointy hats really quickly.
Yeah.
Um, so but that's just my take on it. But Robert, overall, are you and actually did they announce the date for it, right?
Yes, it's going to be May 5th of 2028. So 2 years away. I heard her, yeah.
She walked to the other room and she goes, "Robert's my friend." Um,
Oh.
but okay, 2 years away, and I think that's plenty of time. I mean, I
Mhm,
I think we're gonna get a Black Panther 3 before that. I think we're gonna
definitely.
get a lot of other films before that. Obviously, we're gonna have Secret Wars before that. I'm wondering though, with that being said, because we've had rumors, not confirmed by Marvel, but we've had rumors for a while that Sadie Sink is supposed to be in Secret Wars.
Mhm.
So I'm wondering if we are going to see any other X-Men potentially appear in Secret Wars. But I also don't know because Kevin Feige is a goddamn no good, dirty liar.
Yeah.
Because he had already said previously that we weren't going to see mutants at all until after Secret Wars. And 2 weeks later, we're watching Jean Grey being a major plot point in Spider-Man.
Mhm.
So, you know, now I don't
I
believe
th
anything he says.
I think of anything, we're not gonna get her being a major part of it. I think it'll be
Mhm.
like an end, not an end credit, but like wrapping up. This is the fallout of Secret Wars, and we're gonna see. I think possibly Cyclops, we'll see possibly Jean Grey, and possibly Professor X. All three
I
of them
think
at like an Xavier's. They're starting this brand new school.
yeah, I think at minimum it'll be like a potentially kind of like the end of season 1 of X-Men 97 where we see
Mm,
like Captain America, we see Spider-Man, we see like all these other like little bits and bobs of other heroes kind of where they're at, but they're not necessarily heavily involved in the story. We just know they're in the world.
mhm.
But yeah, but Robert, with that being said, before we go to our next major topic, I wanted to ask you about two animated shows that recently have wrapped up.
Okay.
One of them being X-Men 97 season 2, the other one being My Adventures of Superman season 3. Did you watch both or just X-Men?
So I've only watched X Men. I've been waiting for My Adventures of Superman to pile up, and then I'm now that it's over, I'm gonna bulk watch it all together because I feel like
Okay,
that's
well
just the easiest for me.
give us your thoughts on X-Men 97, and then we'll deal with the fact how you can watch that but not My Adventures of Superman. Anyway, go ahead.
I think the X Men '97 is completely serviceable. It
Damn.
is like, don't get me wrong, it is animated beautifully. The art direction's fantastic. Voice acting is amazing. So many things are so good about this, but it is so rushed. I think I said this on like a previous episode
Yeah.
where I feel like they are 1 foot in, 1 foot out the door, and they don't know what world they want to live in. Whether it's like, hey, we're doing hard hitting, great storylines that we're adapting from the comics, and we want to pay a lot of attention to this, or do they want to stick with that 30-minute runtime of like, we're a Saturday morning cartoon? And unfortunately, I think sticking with that 30-minute format really shoots itself in the foot to have a fully succinct, fantastic story.
Yeah, and I think what's crazy about so I haven't seen it all. I've only seen the first 3 episodes. Like you're doing, I'm probably just gonna watch it now that it's all piled up. But even in those first 3 episodes, I was like, there's a lot going on, like just
Yeah.
like happening very quickly. And I think you're absolutely right, which is one crazy because X-Men and the Spider-Man series that came out in the 90s,
Mhm.
they're both known for kind of breaking the mold of children's cartoons and kind of having more multi-part stories, having episodes that will bleed into the next episode. And for
Mhm.
some reason, it seems like they went, no, we got to tell it in this time frame. Which is a little crazy, but it also, like you said, it feels like if you're going to do that, why did you tackle so many of these stories that are
Mhm.
normally multi-issue things? Like so, like the story that we get, or the first couple stories we get in the first 3 episodes, that's a whole season,
Yeah.
and the whole season of whole first season, while there was a lot going on, there was still kind of like, hey, here's the story. We're going to deal with it all season.
Mhm.
It's what's going on with Genosha and turning their backs on mutants and all this stuff. And randomly, we get the shit in the middle with Jubilee. And then in this one, it just feels like they went next thing, next thing, next thing. And they're all major storylines, I feel like, from what I saw. But you're saying it continues to be like that. And at the end, you're just kind of like,
Yeah, and I think it hurts the most when you watch the final episode because I'm like, this could be so good, but it is so all over the place with like not knowing what the hell is going on. That it just like it hurts to watch. When I'm like, I was like, I should be really loving this, and there are still those moments where I'm like, this is awesome. But I think if we were able to breathe a little bit more, I don't even think it necessarily needs to be an hour. Give me 45 minutes. That's what Lanterns is. It's a 45-minute show. But I think probably my favorite episode is the X Factor episode, because no, but because it is like the newer X Factor, not the older X Factor that I'm reading right now that I really love. But it is because it is a Jubilee episode, and that episode it's fantastic because you get to see like her kind of grow as a character. And I really love it. I love her seeing like going in there and like saving mutants and stuff from the government, and it's like it's just her in her own element, and it made me smile the entire goddamn time.
And it's stuff like that I feel like that could have been a whole season's worth of stuff.
Yes.
Like, going back and forth between whatever bullshit the X-Men are doing and what Jubilee and Cable and X Factor are doing. And it's just kind of like, here it is. You got it. There you go. And I loved that. Again, I didn't watch it all, but I did see that episode. And I loved that, that opening that they completely just did for X Factor. I thought that was so cool.
Yes.
There are also some mutants in X Factor. Like, I forgot what that big dude's name is.
Strong guy.
Stupid ass glasses. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, they were thinking with their big brains back then. But yeah, no, that dude, I remember being like, I remember in the comics, it looked unappealing. It looked stupid. I didn't like it whenever I read, and those characters like that are one of the reasons I just didn't fuck with the X-Men. But seeing him in the show, I was like, it's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah. Hey, he doesn't get a line until the last episode, but that's just, it's whatever. It is a singular line.
Oh, damn. Well, Robert, to pivot from that, we also had My Adventures with Superman season 3 and on the complete opposite side of the spectrum, I thought this shit was fire. It was so good. I don't think that there's been a single bad episode of My Adventures with Superman. Both seasons I feel like have been fantastic. I have to thank Robert for turning me on to it because I didn't watch it until season 2 had wrapped up, and me and Baby Moon watched all that when it was coming out, and then we were watching all these together, and in true My Adventure Superman fashion, I cried in the last episode. So good. So good. I love anime Superman. I personally, I think it's a better Superman than David Cornsweet.
He is the best Superman. He's the 1000% the best Superman.
So good. So good. And I know it's from season 1, but a line that defines this Superman, and he's never changed, was in the first season of Superman, he saved somebody. I won't say who. He saved somebody, and he's just learning about his powers. And
I know
they
exactly what you're
say,
saying.
yeah, and they say, did you know you were bulletproof? And he said, no, I just know you weren't. And like, even there's a storyline. I'm not going to spoil it for you, but there's a storyline that happens that puts Clark in some different situations where that thing comes up again, and it's kind of put on its head a little bit. And I'm like, cinema. So it's so good. It's so good. I'm so excited for you to watch it. I want to hear your opinions on it. But it's amazing. Anybody watching this, if y'all haven't watched My Adventures with Superman, you got to watch it. It is 117% worth it. But with that being said, Robert, we can get to our final topic of the day.
Yes.
Which is our review of Lanterns season 1, episode 1. And Robert, before we get to it, I want to know, where was your head at when talking about Lanterns? How are you? Were you hyped? Were you not hyped?
I was I was interested in it. I think, of course, as anything, as like the DCU has continued to kind of be molded and stuff. We've seen Superman, we've seen Supergirl. Then now it's time to see Green Lantern in this world. And I just the original trailer, I think both of us were both like, "What? Okay." The second trailer, I was like, "Okay, I can see a little bit more now." And then finally going into this, I am more interested, is what I'll say. I wouldn't. I think I saw like Solar Punk's video where he was like, "This will tell everyone that that was very skeptical about this show, and they'll eat their hats and stuff like that." And I was like, I can
see, Brain, love you.
I can definitely see people of I probably Green Lantern fans really loving this a lot. But I don't know. I enjoyed it, is what I'll say. I really enjoyed it. I don't want to go too much into it before we get into what was your opinion? What were you feeling kind of going into this?
I was hyped. I was super excited. I was how do I say it? I, like you, was very whelmed by the trailers. I was not overly like really excited, but I also wasn't like, oh, this looks like shit. I was just kind of like, this doesn't feel like Green Lanterns to me. I don't know what we're doing here, and I've always said I hope I'm wrong. Whether I'm talking about this, the Doomsday trailer, or whatever, I hope I'm wrong. And that was my that was my vibe going into it. That was kind of how I felt about it. And now that we've gotten it, I definitely have some changed opinions. Before we go into depth, Robert, you want to do three, two, one, and give your rating for this first episode?
Yeah, definitely. Let's do it.
Okay, you ready?
Yes.
Three, two, one.
8.
8 out of 10.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
okay.
glad we agree. I'm glad we
Okay,
agree.
we're good. We're good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Usually it's like
perfect.
I'm like all the way on this side and you're all the way on this.
Yeah, no, I'm surprised. I was waiting for you
Yes.
to be like a fucking 4. No,
No.
I'll just say real quick, I loved it personally. I know you're definitely more interested, like you said. I came out loving it. I thought it was really great. I'm glad I was wrong about my skepticism going into it. I think there's some great character work. We know exactly who Hal Jordan is at this time in his life. We know exactly who John is. There's none of this, speaking in riddles bullshit where we're like, let's figure out the characters. We know who they are. And that's one of the things that I hate about certain shows where we're like, we can't read this guy. We got to get a couple episodes in to read him. No, we know who all these guys are right off the bat. They're not hiding it. We know certain allies are probably not people we should trust. We know people that we trust are probably not going to keep being people that we trust. And then they make a major swing at the end of this episode that we all kind of knew that this thing was going to happen. I didn't think we were going to see that so soon and in the way that they did it. But I also kind of like that they did that because it's not like a lead up to it anymore. It's now
Mhm.
like, well, we know this is where we end. How are we going to get there?
Yeah.
Instead of like well, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But Robert, overall, how did you feel about it? What are some of your more in depth thoughts?
I think I do want to start with the end of your thought there with I unfortunately well, I had that spoiled for me.
Damn, sorry.
Yeah, I knew that it was going to happen at the end of the first episode. So I kind of like went into this kind of guessing what was going to happen and what I thought was going to happen. It's not where it happened. So
Yeah.
I was like, okay, cool, sweet. But no,
Did you also think it was going to happen before the explosion?
yes,
Yeah. I was like,
Um,
oh, this is it. The explosion's gonna happen. We're gonna save everybody except
except him.
this thing. Yeah.
No, I really liked it a lot. I thought it was written very much like a comic book and
Mhm.
like a True Detective episode, where it is like there's 3 time skips in this episode, and I thought that
Dude, yeah.
I thought it was gonna be kind of annoying, or because like to me, I'm like, let's just get like to it, like let's stop. But I think each one of them was necessary, and I thought about it as like an origin story comic, where it is like you get the day that they find out whatever, and then you get like their first kind of whatever, and then you get to the actual story, and like that's how I kind of think of like if they do have time skips in comics. I was like, cool.
Yeah.
I
Very
think that's
comic
really done.
booky.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
very, very comic booky. I think I still have an issue with the kind of old school like farmers location of it. But I do think it is. I'm trying to give it more credit for what it is because it is that like it's supposed to be like a huge juxtaposition sort of thing where it is like rural farm town. It's like age old thing and like android I mean aliens and cowboys, right?
Yeah.
Where it's like
Exactly.
they're so drastically different that like
Mhm.
how do these things complement each other? At the moment, I don't think they do so far, but I
Really.
don't think that we've had enough of aliens to kind of
Mhm.
give my full opinion of it. I think the acting and the characters are fantastically written, fantastically
Mhm.
acted. Man, Hal Jordan is a fantastic asshole. I
Yeah.
love that, and then I do love that you do get again that juxtaposition of like you have the hologram that is super kind, super
Yeah. Oh, and
sweet.
I'll just say it right now. We're gonna talk spoilers now on
Yes,
the thing. So yes, the hologram, like you're saying.
yes.
But sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
The hologram, and we can talk spoilers. Kind of what my thought. I think this is going to go to. I think that the hologram is going to be basically how we're going to get Hal Jordan for the rest of the show. I think besides like maybe like flashbacks, I think possibly Hal Jordan rebooted himself into the ring like he's supposed to, and we'll have the most current version of Hal Jordan in the ring teaching John Stewart how to be the Green Lantern, but he's got to find the ring first.
Yeah.
So I'm interested in seeing the rest of it and seeing kind of how kooky beans it ends up getting, because so far it is not. I'm not the biggest Green Lantern fan. Like I don't
Mm-hmm.
know like everything about this, but I do know it is supposed to be a little bit more sci-fi than it currently is already. But it is
Yeah.
only episode 1, so
Yeah. And we have Trejo the Great. Sounds like a stupid name, probably a dumb guy. Here saying, I'm excited for the invasion of the body snatchers. Who's an alien, who's not idea. I agree 100%. I do like that we've put that in place, and I honestly think all those dudes on the farm are aliens.
I
They're
agree.
100% aliens. I don't think we're gonna. I think that's the big thing that they're trying to protect. They're trying to keep these other aliens out because they're the ones that are going to war with those other aliens. Like it's something like that.
I
Um,
believe, and you can tell me if I'm wrong or not. I'm not
Tell
sure
me.
if you know this about the Manhunters, but there are white Manhunters that are the evil Manhunters.
Hmm.
So I think like they
Just like with
are
humans,
just like with humans. I think they are the white Manhunters,
not
and
going to beat the
they
racists
are,
out of the game.
and then there are the
The red
green men.
ones,
Yeah, whatever.
or
Uh,
whatever they are. Yeah, yeah,
yeah, whatever. Again, like I'm not claiming to be a DC nut.
yeah. We've seen Justice League Unlimited.
Yeah.
That's. I don't know personally the ins and outs and the geopolitical standing of the Manhunters personally. Um, but I do know that there's a lot of lore with Green Lantern stuff. Like take all of the MCU's lore that we have right now and put it on the table. It's not a fraction of the lore just about the Green Lanterns. Like it's
Yeah.
insanity how much stuff with lanterns in general there is. Um but that's the thing. I feel like this show has made it accessible so far for people who don't really know the Green Lantern. Um I love how we still got the Abin Sur stuff. It
Hmm.
just being kind of a story, not necessarily being shown to us. And I know usually the rule is show, don't tell. But I think that the way that Hal Jordan talks about it was showing more of his character than anything else. So I
Yeah.
feel like we still kind of got that in a way, even though he's technically telling us. And I also love the story element of like everyone else being like, the Green Lantern's so cool, he protects the earth, and everybody else is all like, get out of here, bro.
Yeah.
We get it. You're hot shit. We got real things to worry about. I personally love that because it really contextualizes how Hal Jordan has to move through this world, and it shows how people are excited, but both him and the kind of partners he has to keep are jaded to his bullshit as well.
Yeah.
And I personally love that. I love that we have a jaded Green Lantern, and because it is the perfect excuse. And I get all these shows. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You got to figure out a way around the budget. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
You got to figure out how we're gonna not have him in the suit till the last episode. You got to figure out how we're gonna, have too many people around, so we can't pull out our phaser guns. So we got to fight, so we can cut down the budget. All those little things that you see in a show. I mean, shit. I'm sure in some way the one-shot fight scene from Daredevil started because we couldn't have another roll of film. I'm just saying, like the budget restraints are always what makes the show is even better. And I love that that story element has completely explained away. That's why he's not flashy. That's why he's not wearing the suit. That's why, he's very much like, I'm just living. And he's very much, how do I put it? He's very much like the drunk uncle, like who's just
Yeah.
like, fuck, yeah, boom, I fixed it. Like, you're
Yeah.
welcome. Like, he's very much Hancock right
Yes.
now. And, I'm down with that. I think that's a great story element or a story direction for Hal. And then, like you said, we still get a more traditional Hal or what people think the Green Lantern should be. So I dig
Yeah.
that.
I think I have like 2 more things I wanted to say before like
Tell me.
we end for the show. But
Tell me.
the first thing is I have a favorite line that like really did that reverberate with me, but I really thought was kind of like the basis of what this show was supposed to be. Where it is in the it is when John and the cop, the sheriff or whatever, are in like the outside of the interrogation room, and she's like, "Do you you respect him?" He's like, "Yeah, yeah." Well, why? He has no fear. And she's like, That is a man who does not care about anyone. He is alone. He does not have no fear. And I was like, that rules. That is great writing right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and then the second thing is kind of like with the conversation that you just had right here about like him dealing with his problems. I saw that I think it was one of the showrunners. I would have to double check, but they said that like they wanted to treat the rings like they were like guns, basically, and
Mhm.
that it is like if they're making that kind of one to one thing of like space cop to cop, that this is their gun, and you have to figure out when you're going to use it. Do you really like that, or do you think it's kind of like antithetical to what a Green Lantern is?
I feel like that is, how do I put it? I feel like that my again, I don't know what the showrunners have in mind, but that mindset of the Green Lantern ring being a gun, if that is the case, it makes sense for this version of Hal Jordan, because it's a very jaded version of Hal Jordan, because regular, like what we know from the comics and the shows and stuff like that, Hal Jordan will make a fucking Hot Wheels racetrack to stop a bank robber. Like
Mhm.
he's very flashy and very showy, and maybe we'll see that that's what he, used to be like. But I personally, if that's just like the rule of all Green Lanterns, it's a very dumb rule to me. Because
Well,
Green Lanterns, that's like their whole thing. You know what I
yeah.
mean? And if that is the case, if that is the rule for all Green Lanterns, that don't make any goddamn sense. Because why is Guy Gardner using it to conjure middle fingers? Like
That's what I was gonna say.
again, again, the other reason that it doesn't make sense, again, I keep saying again, but what I'm trying to say is it also doesn't make sense because if that's the rule they want to keep for all Green Lanterns, why is Guy Gardner putting up middle fingers with his lantern ring? And why is Hal Jordan conjuring fucking dollar bills and bottle cap openers if it's
Exactly.
a gun? You know what I mean? Like he's
Mhm.
like if we're taking that visual, that rule, like what cop is like, let me get that for you. Like, like I don't know. But if that's how this Hal Jordan uses it, because maybe we're gonna find out that, the cliche of he had someone he cared about and then he used the ring wrong and they died. That kind of thing, then that makes sense. But if that's just the rule for everybody, it doesn't make sense and it's stupid.
Yes.
Um,
I
but
I agree with that. I was
okay,
very
okay.
much like, that is not. I feel like Green Lanterns are like, nope. Hey, anytime I can use this to like aid myself, boom, there we go. That's what I'm going to use it for.
Even just to show off, bro.
Yeah.
Like in the fucking Justice Friends, the Green Lantern was carrying around Batman in a sailboat. When
I don't know. I'm very excited for the next episode to see hopefully how it continues to go. This is one I will for sure see all the way through. Will I watch it day one? Probably not. But
rude.
I think like within the same week I will. Um,
What
uh,
days are they coming out?
exactly like that. Like
Hold up.
lanterns. I think it's
Episode 2
Wednesdays.
is the 23rd.
Okay, so that is Monday.
Is it Monday?
That is no, it's Sunday. Sorry, Sunday.
Sunday?
So I guess it took
Okay.
like the Game of Thrones slot.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
I'm
so
excited.
oh well no, I was gonna tell you, if you do watch a day of Robert, I'm gonna be doing streams or I'm gonna be talking about it right after.
Heard, then maybe I will do it. I'll just be like,
Yeah,
sorry,
you got
wife, I
to.
gotta go talk. And then like me, you, and Solar Punk can talk about it after the show.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Cool. Uh, Alex, this is fun.
Robert, it's been a time.
It's been a time. We should do this every Thursday
Unless it
when
changes.
unless it changes,
Or
and we do it
unless we
another
forget.
day. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, hold up. Did you also forget last week or did you
I
just
also did forget last week.
okay? Because we were like at a dinner and was it Friday or Thursday when I texted you? Like it was on
It
the
was
day?
Friday.
Okay, because Mrs. Moon, we're in the middle of eating and she goes, "Did y'all not have podcast this week?" And I literally was like, "Oh God."
It's funny because I was also out eating with my wife, and I got the
What were
text
y'all
message
eating?
like, I think probably pizza.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We were at a Texas Roadhouse.
Oh, okay. You missed us so
They
much.
have one of those over here, so
Yeah.
But, man.
Miss you too. No.
I didn't say that.
Oh, you didn't have to. It's the Texas in it. See you next time.
Yeah. Well, how it is. We always do our signature Geek Day sign off. You remember what it is, Robert?
Yeah.
Okay, you ready? 3, 2, 1.
2,
We're
1.
gonna say what our signature sign off is that we say every single week at the end of every episode. Okay?
Absolutely. I'm ready.
Okay, 3, 2, 1.
To
Get
me, my
geeky.
X-Man. Oh, okay. Bye, y'all.
What did you say?